Alright, what's going on, people? At this point, I'm gonna say you should be, let me see, what should you be? You should be, your DD should have worked, right? You should have cloned, your HDB1 to HDB2, or you should have cloned over your host to your target machine now. Okay? That's good enough for target. Okay? That's what should have happened. Right now, I just got done the clone, so I'm gonna reboot my machine. But first, let me put it in the grub. So, see what I got mounted. I want to mount. I want to mount my clone. It's HDB2. I'm gonna mount that to mount. Caps lock. So I go into mount. I want to change that F stab. So I want to say vi mount @head stab. I'm changing F stab because it carries over the same F stab as your other OS or your host system. So this is going to be a target system here. So we changed that. That's cool. We want to unmount that after we get out. We'll unmount, mount. And then I want to change in the grub too. So I'm going to say, where is it? My grub is on HDA1. So I want to mount that partition where my grub's at. And think and mount, boot, grub. I could vi mini.list from here. Alright, let's see, I don't have another entry here, but I'm going to add that entry right now. And just a little copy paste going on. And change some stuff around a little bit. And after this gets done, we'll do a nice little reboot, and then we'll be set up on our way. Let's name this target. Now copy out root. Ugh. Copy out the root here, and do that. One more. Okay. Short it up a little bit, make it look good. And then we'll be on our way. I think. After this gets over with, which that should be it. Okay. Now you notice I have an older kernel. So I'm gonna reboot here now and exit. It's okay if I have an older kernel. If you followed my videos to the T or anything, you would have ended up with an older kernel too. And it's not really a big issue that the kernel's that old, but there's some things I have to upgrade to it. And one of the things is loopback support. I don't need any fancy for my LFS. Everything's fine. It's got all the kernel support that I really need, and it's according to the book. So, and it works just fine. I think we're up into the 3s now with kernels, or like what, 3.10 something like that. So I don't really need a high-tech kernel for this, but you know. And if you look at your grub now, you'll see you have 2 entries. It's a good idea too, maybe if you want to boot into the target LFS to see if it works. Just boot it up and make sure everything works before you start change rooting into it and packaging and everything else like that. So, but I'm gonna go back into my LFS now. Into the host LFS. And password anytime soon. Okay, good to go. Good to go. Okay. So like I said, the kernel is rather old. Okay, and that's fine. It's a 2.6.1627. That's not really an issue for me. But the other thing, one thing you might want to do is, well, never mind about that. Let's go kernel shopping. Alright, we have to go get a 2.6 kernel. And the reason why I say a 2.6 kernel is because in the documentation that I'm using, which we should go get that now first anyway. I'm going to spark up something new here. It would be a good idea too if you make something like a directory, okay? I called my directory the docs, okay? So you might want to get a directory like that. Just get it so you can stick some info and stuff like that when you're building. Alright? So we'll go kernel shopping now. And let's say kernel.org. Or, yeah, let's say kernel.org. I'm getting a 2.6 kernel. Index. I'm getting a 2.6 kernel because of the documentation for my the build, how to build the LFS CD is let me just pump out some 2.6, 2.6.22. Yeah, any one of these will work. I'm gonna take a bzip 2. No, that's a 2.3. I don't want a 2.3. I want a 2.2 bzip 2. Save. Okay. The documentation for it. I don't know. It doesn't. It just says upgrade a kernel, but it doesn't say how to get a 2. Why you need documentation. That get a directory list in hands. And all this stuff here is kind of like where you want to be. Now there's this here, BootCD Easy Way. I don't think this is it. This is one of them. Okay. This is one of the hints that we're going to download. We're going to copy out. This is. I think this is it. Yeah, this is one of the hints that we'll download and copy out. So let's say this. I'm going to say escape and links. We'll go down to save formatted document, okay? And we'll say boot easy. That's what we'll save it like that. This is one. Now the other one I had to find. I'll go back. I'm gonna say the other one is underneath the old stuff. Alright, because 6.2.3, which is my LFS, is kind of old. So we kind of have to deal with something that's around that age period or that time. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, we'll end up with stuff that we don't even have on our system or anything. So this stuff is relevant to our LFS. And what I'm trying to say is, we don't want to get a documentation from like 2 months ago, because obviously it's not going to deal with 2.6.1627 kernel and everything else like that. And you know, so this is kind of like from back in the around the same time period as our LFS came out. Here we go. This is back around the same time period when our LFS came out. Now I don't know if you look at the top of the screen. I'm blinking this on purpose here. Look at the top of the screen. You see date 2005. All right, so you know, even though this is for 6.0 release, it's still a little bit more closer than it would be for, say, a 7.3 release. Okay, I'll deal with something more relevant like that. So with this, I'm going to take this out, and we'll save this. Okay, and we can quit links now. Okay. And I'm going to remove some stuff I got in here that I was making for the video, like a diagram and layout. I'm going to make that happen. Alright. So right now we've got a kernel, and we've got boot CD, and we've got boot easy CD text. Okay. So that's what we got. And that's where I think I'm going to stop the video here. And the next one, I could go over documentation. But I'm going to give you a heads up and say that you need loopback support. So actually, it'd be probably better first if you did that before we went over the documentation. But I'm going to stop the video and I'm going to do some kernel config. Alright, well, we'll do some kernel config and then we'll go from there. And then after that we'll read the documentation. Alright, so peace out.